awkward, amen. Well, let me say something to break the silence. Listen, if you obviously if you don't know me, you gonna get to know me right now because obviously you here, right? So you here for your very first time. Go ahead, welcome. And I can't even say that y'all returning because this is my very first video. But I figured I was like, you know what? Let me just give y'all some really authentic content. So I was like, let me just go ahead and just sit here, prop up the camera, and just start talking. Which honestly, that's not what we're doing. It's actually a story time, and obviously y'all read it by the title. I'm about to tell y'all basically how my life became like my favorite TV show, and I was blackmailed at a very young age, middle school actually. So basically, like, I'm gonna just go ahead and jump right into the story because I have a lot of story times, but I don't want to give y'all my heaviest hitter. So I was like, you know what? Let me give y'all something a little calm, something that's just blackmailing techniques, just because we get into the deeper stuff, and it's like, I'm sorry, y'all. I spend a lot of time being my grandpa's like personal care aide, so y'all about to get a lot of cuts. Listen, don't even jump on me like that, and don't jump on my grandpa neither. Watch your mouth, ho. Okay, y'all. So Um, you know what? Let me just set the scene for you. So I'm in seventh grade. And when you're in seventh grade, you're about, let's see, you start high school freshman 19. I mean freshman ninth grade, 14 to 15, 13 to 14. I was 12, or yeah, I was 12 going on 13 when this happened. So I was in seventh grade, and the situation led all the way up into eighth grade. All right. So I remember I was in seventh grade. I'm about 12 years old, and I'm already going through, a lot of like typical middle school drama. And I do remember like it was so stupid because I'm pretty sure like maybe a month beforehand I was dealing with the fact of like this girl, she had wrote me a love letter confessing her love to me, that she had been in love with me for like at least 2 years, and she was in the grade below me. And then I was like, I don't even remember us going to the same school together. But then like, what did you know? What, she went missing like literally a month after she had gave me that letter. But then I think she came back. Anyway, that's besides the point. Let's keep on track. So that's so stupid. So I don't know. For some reason, the seventh grade was like the year of boom boom threats and catfishing. I really truly don't know what's going on in these small town schools, y'all. But like that was what was known for like my seventh grade year of middle school. So we sitting up in there, and I'm just like, on my phone, da 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 da, because obviously I'm the middle schooler, and I just got my phone not that long ago, so I'm gonna be on that every chance I get. So I'm going on Instagram, the account that I'm not even supposed to be having, the account that child probably my mother and them didn't even know I had. So I'm sitting up there on Instagram, and I get a message like request or message or whatever, not whatever Instagram setups was back in the day, and it was talking about some, oh, hey, such and such, such and such. And I'm like, okay, mind y'all, we just already had, but at this point, we're like a couple of catfish incidents deep. And there was a lot of catfish incidents that involved, and I'm going to give these people some names. There was a catfish, there were like a whole lot of incidents that involved J and A. And both of those are girls, both of those are females, and then it involved like a whole lot of catfish incidents with a whole lot of other people. But J and A are important because J and A come back sooner than later. And I know like A is really like but don't worry, like she's not even that important. I just had to give her a letter because. So let's say the person who like became my stalker was Gossip Girl. So I get a DM from Gossip Girl, and it's like hey, do you know da da da? And I'm like, yeah, I know. I don't know why I said da da da. They asked me about Jay. They was like, do you know Jay? I said, yeah, I know Jay. How you know Jay? Because I'm looking at your account. You are like in California. What are you? Where are you? Who are you? So I was like, okay, this is kind of suspicious. So me and Jay were like really cool at this point. Like Jay was probably like in my top 10 of people, of friends at this time period of like all of middle school. So I remember I was talking to Jay, and I was like, Jay, like, how you know this person? Who is this person? And they're like, oh, they are like dating A right now. And I'm like, oh, okay. So then eventually Gossip Girl and A had break up. Now I forgot to tell y'all, but Gossip Girl, you know what I'm saying, Gossip Girl's a man. So me being under the impressionable little age and being raised in a household of nothing but just women, I'm like, I really clash well with a lot of the girls that are going to my school in middle school, but like not really the boys, especially since I wasn't even like sporty or nothing like that. I was a band kid. So I was like, I kind of do like want some male friends. So like, me and Gossip Girl started becoming friends, and we were talking and cool and whatnot. And mind you, like I'm telling y'all, the only man in the story is me and Gossip Girl. Everybody else, I'm telling y'all, like J and A, those are girls. So I'm like, yeah, okay. So then eventually it comes out about the other catfish incidences that had happened to be Jay, allegedly. We don't even know for real. Like, I don't remember Jay ever confessing, but like I feel like I kind of remember Jay confessing, but then I don't want Jay to get me with nothing, so we just gonna sit here and say allegedly. Which I could always go and ask Jay. Like, me and Jay are still cool to this day. I can go ask Jay right now, but whatever. I'm not about to do that. I know Jay cool. Jay gonna be like, Jay might actually tell me, but I ain't finna tell y'all Jay business. Man, I got you, Jay. So y'all, as we like progressively talking, more and more, it's hitting towards the end of the school year, and like at this point, me and Gossip Girl are like really good friends. And mind you, me and Gossip Girl are really good friends as like two people individuals. Like, we never made no groups of like, oh, me, Gossip Girl, and Jay, and all three of us became tight or nothing like that. It was like I knew Gossip Girl over here, I knew Jay over there, and then they all knew each other, and so on and so forth. So eventually, Gossip Girl and A break up, and Gossip Girl, like, it's not because they broke up because they knew like, oh, you're a fake account. It was just like I don't know, I kind of don't want you, or like I want something in person or whatever. Not, I was like, okay, that ain't my business. I kind of really don't give a damn. So then, summertime hit, right, and we kind of like we all cool and we all texting through the break and the summertimes and whatnot, but Gospel Girl and Jay and like they just start getting in it, and I'm just like, Now, mind you, Jay had another friend who I'm gonna call Big Head, cause Lord, she had a big head. But anyway, we had another friend whose name was Big Head, and I was like, I couldn't stand Big Head, but Big Head still took toes of her truth, cause Big Head let me know that it was Big Head, and I know Gospel Girl hiding behind some account, so I gotta put some respect on Big Head name. So it was like Big Head somehow got up in it, and um, my bad. So Big Head got up in it, and then A got up in it, and then J was up in it, and then we had another friend. Our friend H was up in it. So then, okay, Gossip Girl, being like how a catfish would be, got fake pages, and they're like, these are my brothers. So then the brothers is up in it, and then somehow or another they get to arguing, and then all of a sudden, they're like, okay, we all chill out. Like, we realize it's not that big of a deal. Mm. Clearly, Gospel Girl was still holding a grudge because somehow Gospel Girl's older brother, and then A got into a relationship, and I'm like, and then I had to kind of look at A sideways because I'm like, did you just date your ex brother? Because mind you, I know A in real life. Like, I'm seeing A every day in school. This was summer vacation, but I'm seeing A every day in school. So I'm looking at her. I'm like, okay, ho. So eventually, the older brother and then A, like, they break up, and then A disappears, right? And Gossip Girl, like, I guess she was like, that's not enough. Like, I need. So Gossip Girl, like, it's just like constant arguing, and then I don't know how, we didn't put no clues together, but somehow or another, um, Jay's dad had just had a new kid, right? So they was telling information that was like, ain't no way you would know that information if you all the way in California. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's going on here? So then it was like, you better figure out who I am before I go and not that new baby. And when I tell you, they sent some video evidence to show that they was not playing, it was like, oh my god. Mind y'all, I'm in between 7th and 8th grade. Of course, I'm not gonna tell no adult because I don't want my phone taken. You know what I mean? So y'all, after that whole incident of like, you better figure out who I am, da da da. Maybe not even that long after, they put, it was Gossip Girl, me, Jay, this girl named H, which me, Jay, and H like a friend group, and we were all like working on trying to figure out who this is and the fake accounts and who the accounts really belong to. We were like the catfish crew. That's who we was. So it was me, Gossip Girl, J, H, A, and this girl who's like a little sister to me. So we gonna call her little sis. So they Gossip Girl put all of us in the group chat, and they were like, "You better find out who I am before I wreck all y'all lives up." Mind you, we're all in sixth, seventh, eighth grade. We're not even in eighth grade yet because it's still summertime. So we're all in the age range of sixth and seventh grade. Of course, we absolutely believe you. We absolutely think you could do it. And you could potentially be like a grown person. Like in my head, because mind you, at this point, I am watching Pretty Little Liars at this point. So in my head, I'm thinking like, wow, like you really could be a grown person or like a really big teenager that's like really doing this to us. My mind just running wild because I'm just an overthinker like that. So we sitting up in there and I just realized I never took the time to tell y'all how or like what. Okay, I'll do that later. No, screw it, because I don't feel like doing all the editing stuff. I'm going to tell y'all right now. So basically, Pretty Little Liars is a show about four teenage girls that are being blackmailed by this unknown assailant, and they have to figure out pieces of information and da-da-da-da before the person that's blackmailing them decides to expose all of them and then exposing their secrets and then stuff like that. So they're trying to like, do what they can to prevent all that from happening. That's basically what the show is about. And so on and so forth. So that's basically, like I'm saying, the situation I'm in. I'm trying to figure out who this is. I'm trying to crack down on them. Now mind you, they don't have nothing on me. But it's the fact of like you threaten one of my friends that I really truly deeply care about, so I'm gonna stick beside them because in sixth, seventh grade we really didn't know the true meaning of ride or die. But hey, we was taking it like it was for real ride or die. I'm not finna let nobody take your little sister out, man. I'm not finna go down like that. So, of course, my little sister that I just said in the group chat, she was like, "I'm not finna go through this. Like, I have my softball career. No, bye." And she literally just like pressed the block button and ignored it, and it worked. Like, it really worked. Like, kudos to her. Like, it really worked. I just want to like call her and talk about that. Like, do you remember when you did that? Because like, you really saved yourself a whole lot of like BS if you don't know. So after all that had happened, obviously A was like, no, thank you. And then my little sister, she was like panically freaking, but she was like, I'm not gonna go through this. So boom, and then she just left. So it was back to me and my catfish crew, J and H. So H is trying to figure out, H finally figured out like who the person was, the real person was for the whatchamacallit, the older brother account. At least not like there was like a whole family. Actually, it was a whole catfish family. It was a whole Gospel Girl family. But they figured out the one for the one that A was dating. So we finally found the real account, and she was too scary. So I texted her. I was like, "Hey, da, 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 your picture's being used, da, 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 da." And it was like an internet personality. So then we were like, okay, let's look up the pictures of Gossip Girl because why haven't we done that? But keep in mind, we're only like in sixth, seventh grade. I have to keep stressing that. We were really young to be going through this because this was really traumatizing at that age. Now that I'm 19, I'm looking back at this, I'm just like, what were we doing? We were such kids. But anyway, so we find the real person of who's behind the Gossip Girl account and we text them too. And then we're just like, okay, H bails. Now, mind y'all, H is the oldest out of all of us because H is about to start high school. So I'm really mad at H because I'm like, H, like, what? You are like the grown one here. Like, what are you? But she just bails. So eventually, it's just me and Jay. The true rider dies at this point. So we all sitting up in a group chat. Is me, Jay, and Gossip Girl. And Jay's like, tell me who you are. And Gossip Girl was feeling generous at this moment because Gossip Girl said, I'll give you a hint. I went down for one of the B threats at the school. And then Jay started thinking, and Jay started thinking, and boom, it clicked. Now, mind y'all, at this point, we're in eighth grade and we're still, like, we're back in school. So when Jay was like, you're da da da, and it's like, yeah. And this was like her way of taking out her revenge because she made the threat for, the stuff that happened at the school that got her expelled. But I you know what, honestly, in true Pretty Little Liars fashion, she really had absolutely no reason to do what she did, because she's talking about some. She did this because of, whatchamacallit. She did this because of, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I'm sorry. She did this because this is like her way of getting her anger and stress and stuff off from being expelled in school and from making those threats and da da da. And I guess like in some type of way she probably might have blamed Jay or something like that. But I was texting them privately. I was like, "Why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me?" And they were basically like, "You know, you're the one that decided to stick beside Jay, and you were collateral damage, da 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 da." Which, now looking back at it, fair. I can't lie. I gotta keep it real. I gotta keep it real. That was kind of fair. Like you kind of ate me up. All right, you kind of ate me up. No bull. So I was like, okay, and the account just like got deactivated, and I was like, what? And then what pissed me off? What really pissed me off? I think it was like a year or two. I finally see who Gossip Girl was in real life. Gossip Girl, who like I said was pretending to be a man. Gossip Girl was really a girl. Gossip Girl was really a girl. Just like how in the real Gossip Girl, like TV show in the real Gossip Girl, that was a man. This was a whole gender flop switcheroo. Did Gossip Girl, who was really a man, was actually, a real Gossip Girl. So then I ended up seeing her and I was like purely disgusted. But do y'all know who I saw her with? I saw her with Jay. So the girl that threatened you to your sister, you was just like, hey, we're we're cool now. We were kids back then. No, I'm still traumatized, and it's still something that I might think about like really late at night when my brain is keeping me up. Please, and the crazy part about this is I remember I was telling my sister. This is like a little bonus story. I was telling my sister, and I was like, I really did like go through you know uh based on my favorite TV show experience, and she knew what I was talking about. She knew about the TV show because we were watching some of it together. So she was like, yeah, it was this one time in my freshman year. It was me and this girl, and then this other stud. So another girl, but the stud, and we were all getting text messages and we were all being blackmailed and stuff like that. And then one day, like, I remember crying about it, and then the cops were called and something like that. And something about the stud getting beat up because so stupid. The stud had got beat up and they were all bloody and they were all thinking that the person that was sending the messages and stuff was doing it just for them to go and figure out and investigate. And turns out that it was actually the stud that did all that, because I think like the stud liked it, my sister or something like that. I don't know. It's just y'all see how y'all be doing this stuff for absolutely dumb reasons. Like that one girl's mom in that Netflix documentary where she was like, "Well, I decided to bully her because I didn't want nobody else to bully her." Just dumb. Like y'all really don't be having no true reasons to be blackmailing and bullying these people for real. But anyway, that's my story, y'all. And like I said, I just wanted to sit down here and just honestly start talking and give y'all some real authentic content. But now, like I just told y'all a little breezer story. Like now, I want to just start putting out my heavy hitters. So next video, next story time, y'all probably gonna get a heavy hitter. I can't even lie because I really want to tell y'all some of the really good ones. The really good ones. Like this was boring. This was like a 2 out of 10 for me. Like this was like no, come on, we got to get into the real nitty gritty. But anyway, I don't really know how to end this. So this is the end of the video.